Hello there. My name is Shirley Perez, and I'll be talking about COVID 19, as in what it is, the symptoms, how to prevent it, how to get tested, and some important detailed information that may or not be strictly about Puerto Rico. COVID 19 is history, is a topic that will be taught in school for new generations. COVID 19 is a new coronavirus strain that has never been detected in humans. This virus started and was identified in the Chinese city of Wuhan in December 2019. Also, this is an airborne virus, which means any person that is infected touches, breathes, coughs, or sneezes by someone else, they will get anyone around infected. As this situation was happening, quarantine was introduced to the world. As of today, 2021, we are still dealing with this virus. Here are some things you should keep in mind through this pandemic. The symptoms. Some symptoms are fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, headaches, loss of taste of smell, sore throat, congestions or runny nose, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and many more. Since these symptoms are much alike the flu, there was a lot of confusion. Many people thought they were okay and it was a regular flu instead of having COVID. Little did they know they've been infecting other people, and that's why it's been spreading so much. If you're feeling like you're out of the weather or feeling sick, maybe you should rethink about going out. Precautions. There are many ways to avoid getting this virus. Wear a mask to protect yourself and others. Stay at least 6 feet away from others. Avoid crowds. Clean your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Maybe sing the ABCs. Or use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Not like Bath and Bodies that 60% off sparkles. If you know what I'm saying. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue or arm instead of your hands, since there's so many bacteria in them. Clean and disinfect frequently. Touch objects, surface daily. Also, try to monitor your health daily. You never know what could happen any day of any time. These precautions should help you prevent this virus. If you take care of your health and not go out as much if it's not needed, you'll be perfectly fine. Go get tested. Testing for COVID 19 is a sample of mucus from your nose or a blood test. Prices to get tested in Puerto Rico are free through your health insurance. If you do not have health insurance, it will be around $75 for a rapid test, or if you would like a blood test, it will be around $40. Results are back and given within 2 hours. Other countries may take 1 to 3 days. Getting tested is important. Infecting your family members or friends without knowing their health issues could depend on the recovery. There are also pharmacies like CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens giving the test for free, and results are back in 3 to 7 days. Think for others. When you're feeling out of the weather, maybe you should think about not going out. Let's talk about the cases that are happening in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has a population of 2,834,690. There's around 16,000 infected and 2,279 deaths. This virus is happening in the whole world, but this PowerPoint is based on a specific territory of the United States, which is Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a high risk level 4, with the majority counties infected. Only 5 counties are missing to be fully contaminated. This is a small island, but the way this virus has spread is unbelievable in a matter of 2 months due to spring break. As you could tell, the map is red, completely red. So The red is meaning that the whole island is basically infected, as I was saying. And there's 5 that you see that are, one is blue and the other 4 are orange, which means they're not all the way contaminated, which could be good, but cases are increasing in a matter of days. As spring break had approached, people from all over the world started going on vacation to Puerto Rico, which could have been the reason of more spread. And the more people go out, the more people be together, not following the... As I was mentioning about people coming here to Puerto Rico as vacations, I want to talk about the airports. Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport is the busiest airport in the Caribbean region by passenger traffic. This airport was closed for quite some time due to the level of high risk of infected humans in last year of 2020. Some of the protocols to enter Puerto Rico are social distancing, mandatory face covering in public areas, and while being on the plane. There is a $300 fine if you travel to Puerto Rico without proof of a negative test. Passengers arriving need a negative test taken no more than 72 hours before arrival or a vaccine record. For passengers that don't have their negative COVID results, will get the fine and they have to quarantine for 14 days. Another protocol to enter the territory, people will need to fill out a travel declaration form. It's a questionnaire asking COVID questions. After you fill out that form, they keep up with the passengers through a text message, making sure they don't have any symptoms or feeling any type of sickness. My experience coming to this airport, honestly, I felt like I was in a Monster Inc. episode. Looking at everyone with white suits, masks, gloves, and many more equipment to protect themselves from this virus. It's serious. It's very serious. Like any other virus, you need a vaccine. So let's talk about some vaccinations. Studies show that COVID-19 vaccines are effective at keeping you from getting COVID. All vaccines have symptoms of the virus to get immune to it. There are about 3 vaccines as of now that are in progress, which you can get, and these are their names. We have the Pfizer, which is around 95% effective. The Moderna, which is 94% effective. And then you got the Johnson, which is not as high as percentage, but there is a 66% effective. Getting vaccine helps yourself and your loved ones to be protected. And who doesn't want that? Even if you do not get infected, having the vaccine helps you not to be as ill. So think about it. Maybe you should get your vaccine. They are still, just like in the pharmacies, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, they are also giving you a chance to get your vaccine. Let's talk about some laws and curfews you will want to know if you come into Puerto Rico and what is happening here. Laws in Puerto Rico over COVID have been very strict. If there's more than 2 people in a car, they will need to have their mask over their nose to not get fined, just like if you were ordering an Uber or a Lyft. Businesses and restaurants must be closed by 9 p.m., remaining at 50% capacity, and the 6 feet spacing between tables is guaranteed. If restaurants are open after hours, they will get fined. Restaurants and any commercial store need to be stopped taking orders by 7:30 p.m. for employees to clean up and be done by curfew time and get home safe. As the United States has some states that are opening without any curfew, people can't be at this island in the streets after 9 p.m. or you'll get stopped, fined, or go to jail. Last but not least, quarantine. Quarantine is to separate individuals from people that are exposed to the virus. The quarantine needs up to 7 to 14 days. When everything happened and the virus was introduced, States closed all restaurants, school, bars, parks, and many more things because of this virus. Closing all these things was hard. We have never experienced all these places to be closed at once and be always at home. Even though it's to protect ourselves, it helped each other to get together as a family. Dealing with quarantine, I feel like humans got to know each other more, experienced to learn to do new things they wasn't used to, and able to find themselves without distractions. I hope you could get some of this information with yourself and was able to learn something from my PowerPoint. Thank you so much for listening.